Oh, dang
You gotta know how to get back on there. Okay, it's like I keep telling you that.
Oh, hush.
She said, "Oh hush." What up, yo? So it's this new movie. Well, this movie came out 2019, but just now seeing this live streaming. You can see it on Apple TV, YouTube. I rent it on YouTube for $6.99. And I like Nate Parker for his, his work, everything he's done. Like I said, Birth of a Nation. I truly believe that he should have won an Oscar for that. But looking at to this too, man, American Skin, man, it really went through a series of emotions on this journey here, watching this film. It's basically, was a lot of stuff going on. His son, it was a gentleman named Luke. I think it was Lincoln, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, he was driving the car with his son and everything. It was late at night. I guess they was going through some type of prestigious neighborhood. His son goes to a good school or whatever. But anyway, I guess he was speeding, and the cop kind of just saw that and pulled him over. And they, the normal thing, the normal routine is going ahead. Like, okay, let me see your license, registration, proof of insurance. Did the right thing. Had his hands on the wheel. You know how it is when you get pulled over. You don't want to do any fast movements. It's the most dangerous job. Like I kind of agree. Like it's one of the most dangerous things that cops can do, especially late at night. Because at the end of the day, they don't really have the upper hand like that. But anyway, so let me say he didn't have no weapons or whatever. They proceeded to ask him a series of questions, telling him to step out the car. I guess they was going to search him, saying that, oh well, his insurance wasn't valid. All these type of stuff was going on, man. So anyway, they end up leaving. They got out the car. His son had to get out the car as well from this one officer in this view, and he ended up recording. So he used a cell phone, which you can record. You can do everything you can. You can use that for the court of law, but the cop, it was yelling at him, putting the gun at him. Hey, put the gun, put it down, put it down. And he had no gun with him. Wrestled with the cop. Guy got shot, killed. So, and it just went through this whole array of emotions. Like, this stuff happens in real world too, and just watching this film, I was just like, damn, man, like, how is this going crazy? Like, people gonna protest, or is he going to get justice? Probably not, 9 times out of 10. But it was a plot twist, man. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but it's a plot twist. This guy was a Marine vet, and he ended up gathering some of his guys, man. This kid was doing an interview. He was documenting every single thing, like about the story of who he was, because the mass media, they do a really poor job in actually showcasing and broadcasting the life of a victim from police brutality in a positive light, instead of being negative. Because negativity, they say, oh, he was a thug, or they kind of put that out there for the most part, so the masses can be like, oh, okay, they can sympathize with the cop has done and all this type of stuff. Oh, he was, back in the day, he used to shoot people, he used to rob people. But if it was another race of a person, they would have put him as like, oh well, he had a mental illness. I'm sorry, he didn't mean to do that. I mean, it was stuff going on. He was an entrepreneur. He was one of the richest men on the earth. He was, he did a lot of things for the youth. It was so sad. Like, I understand he killed 10 people, but it shouldn't be done like that. And watching this as an African American, it really brought me. I don't say brought me to tears, but I did get choked up in some moments, man. And when he actually took justice in his own hands, he tried to, went up, and it was a crazy scene when the plot twist. He ended up, they taking these police officers hostage, man, in a county and everything, man, because the guy was filming. He was like, okay, we'll be stopping here for. We've been here for a minute. End up getting the captain. The captain was over there, trying to get the report and doing all these things, and they're trying to, get to trial or whatever. If not, but for the most part, he was let go, and he was going to go back to duty. Wasn't going to do desk duty. Wasn't going to be on administrative leave. And how many times we hear this over again? I mean, even they do get indicted, they still have the necessary connections to even get bail. And you can post a $2 million bail. It'll be somebody that'll create a charity event, or they know somebody in their family that can help get them out. And this is the type of stuff we're talking about, man. And they'll probably go to another precinct and do the same thing over and over again, but not have the consequences of killing an individual or killing a person in general, man. And They just revert to like, oh, that's how we was trained. This is what we do, and it is what it is. If we take a life, we take a life. And don't get me wrong, in a police perception, if someone has a gun, yes, it has to be drawn out. They have the intent to point the gun at you, then yes, you go out here and shoot and execute them. But little things like you can visually see something that's kind of harmless, a cell phone, yeah, you can probably rough them up a little bit, but point his gun out and shoot and kill that young man was uncalled for, and that's the whole message. And it does seem like they had a perspective when they was all zip tied and all this stuff, man, and he had his own little jury on Lincoln, man, the Marine vet, and they was just going back and forth, and they had this beautiful dialogue, and it was talking about how they felt about the cops and why they were locked up on fallacious charges. I mean, this is a generational thing, but in America, man, you will get they it's so many people that specialize in investing in privatized prison complexes. A lot. They make so much money while you're in that cell. Blacks, Latinos. I mean, there's whites in there too. But it's like for the most part, man, it does seem like you have a target on your back when the cop is like behind you. You're like, damn, like what do you do wrong? What I do wrong? It's like all that stuff, your education, and stuff go out the window. At the end of the day, you train to be like, okay, can I make it home safely? What's going to happen? That's the thing. That's the message that Nick Parker was trying to send, man. It's just like we live in two different worlds. And I kind of discovered, like, I don't know if like other people or white people love the police. I think they just love what the police can do for them. Because if you think about what happened in the Capitol riots, I mean, it was few police officers getting injured. I don't know if one got killed, but they were injured while they were storming there. So I'm looking like, if Blue Lives Matter, if y'all love the police, why y'all putting the police in harm's way and beating the police down and getting mad at them so you can go ahead and do what you want to do and break into a federal building? And that's the stuff I don't get. So it's like that goes to confirm, like, okay, y'all don't love the police, y'all just love what y'all can do for them or what they can do for you. Compared to other races of people. That's what I truly feel like. I don't think really too many white people get scared when they driving, or a police is behind them, unless they have a record, Grand Theft Auto, or misdemeanors, or they got some drugs on them. Maybe they be a worry, but just a regular, average thing. You going to the store, you going home, you seeing like a friend or whatever. You don't worry too much about the police. And it's just difference of privileges, man. I mean, it's sad, man, because you go into detail. Like, they had a couple black cops in there of the different communities, but they thinking like, dang, man, like, they're black and stuff. Like, this stuff really has to happen. Like, why? And it's so many. It was just very deep, man. For as short as this movie was, it was very deep. And I know you're not gonna get too many good reviews on this from the critics, but they might think it's like very biased. But the people in the cast that played in this movie, it did a really good job. And what I like about Nate Parker, he's so versatile. Like Denzel Washington, Samuel Jackson, like, you direct your own movies. And Don Cheadle, you direct your own movies and you acted in it, and it still came out really good. Like Newsworth, like, this is good, man. I mean, is this Oscar winning? Yeah, I think it is. I mean, this is like for best writing. I mean, this was good. This was something that I really enjoy, man. This is something that depends point, because this was definitely a plot twist. And why do we have to go to the peaceful route? I think that was a very powerful scene there. And when his wife, was trying to calm him down as he was taking over the city building where the cops were at, man. But it's like, why we gotta, be nice, turn the cheek. We've been peaceful protesting all the time. That stuff don't work. They still killing us. White people get upset, they go to violence and they get away with it. They get what they want. We gotta do the same. We the only people in this country that would do this. And yeah, I mean, yeah, we kill each other. Don't get me wrong, and all that stuff too. And maybe it's the profiling that the cops may have on us, and they trying to judge us with the rap music. Don't get me wrong, the rap music, I mean, not all of it, but I mean, yeah, some rap music now is pretty bad, but still, you can't categorize that to a whole race of people, and just how you gonna act and treat us that way. And the thing is, though, if this continue to happen, maybe a revolution. We don't know. Like, and all these riots that happened last year, man. I mean, crazy, and some of them is just, people just bored and just want to, get their name on television. But a lot of it is just exhaustion. And this movie did a beautiful job in displaying this and portraying all this stuff that's going on, man. And I just say that very happy to actually see this movie. You know, it was good. It was worth the $6.99 to rent it. I highly recommend this movie. Even if you for police or you're not for the police, like I'll go ahead and watch this. Even if you're not an African American, because I mean, this movie it speaks a lot of truth and volumes, man. Nate Parker did a really wonderful job, and at the end, he got shot in the head from the SWAT team. It's like, oh, it was just crazy, man. And people might justify that. You know, they might say, well, I mean, he shouldn't have captured and go ahead and try to, you know. I mean, no cops got killed, but do this just for a message. That's wrong. You shot up all the property and you put these people in harm's way. That's completely wrong. What about, you know, people would have died and all this stuff? It's so many things, man. So many emotions, and people might have their different opinions, but people might hate seeing these type of movies. I don't know, but I have to say, man, this movie here is it was deep. It was really deep. I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it, man. I mean, Dave Parker did it again, and it's some things in this country, man, that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. I was thinking too when I had this Bible study earlier today. We was talking about slavery and how it started, and we was referencing Deuteronomy 28. We talk about the Hebrew Israelites and what they stood for. I mean, it was deep. It was a really deep conversation. But I remember it was brought up, like, you know, the curses and stuff in Deuteronomy 28. Like, you know, if you read that 28:15, it talks about the disobedience, and I think y'all was referencing to the nation of Israel. If they disobeyed and did not understand God's laws and turned away from the Lord, then these are the curses going to be upon you. You know, you're going to be, your enemies going to have the footstool on you. You're going to be back to slave ships and to Egyptian servitude. It's a lot of that stuff, you know, was portraying, and they were talking about, is this a relation to slavery that happened to us, like the slave trade, I believe, that happened in 1526. Portuguese, you had the Dutch, you had a lot of European countries that was involved in it, and also to our own people too. A lot of they captured a lot of people from the West Africa. They was capturing like at least 5,000 to 8,000 people on ships, man. It was crazy. It was something when they was discovering different things, man, and just brought us here in Jamestown, Virginia, and Annapolis, Maryland, where we were being auctioned off. Our children, we want to be able to see our children. Children will have a hold of our the enemies will have a hold of our children. Families will be separated. If you think about this too, is that, you know, the slaves, they were separated. Like, one will go to a different plantation, some will go to Virginia, some will go to South Carolina. Now they're like, dang, now they taking their child away from them. Now they growing up in a different slave master's home. It's deep, man. So, I just had to say, man, that this movie was it was something else, man. So that's final verdict of this movie. I give it a 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, damn, this was good. I have to say, this was really good. I highly recommend, excuse me, people to go ahead and check this movie out, man. Yeah, 9.5 out of 10. This was really good, man. Just something for the ages, man. If Nate Parker don't win a whatever Oscar for this, I don't know what will. Honestly, man, what can he do? But usually some people saying, hey, you know, the Oscar ain't for us. But cops and, yeah, man, it's crazy, man. You know, sometimes I wonder how my father feel about all of this. My dad was a cop for like 10 years, you know. But yeah, man, but in Detroit. But that's all I really got to say, man. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I kind of just want to talk about this, man. But I have to say, this was a really good movie. It was really good. Roy Only Jr., I'm out. Deuces.